Welcome to the New Orleans TV Internet Work System. Good evening. Hopefully it's evening around your time, unless you're far across the country. It could be tomorrow morning or tomorrow day. It's coming up on 8 p.m. Central Daylight Time. We've just changed over, and with the daylight time comes this terrible virus. Oh, what are we talking about that? Everybody's depressed. Hopefully, we're going to make you entertained and help the folks out who are going to call this evening. As you know, if you're familiar with us, we broadcast live streaming from New Orleans to the Netherlands. We're something on Facebook Live under my name, Bob Bockelman, and under YouTube, my channel R space REVUE, which, as I tell you, everyone, if you have a chance, since you've got to search for it the first time, if you go ahead when you see that little red circle with my red shirt and my drink, go ahead and click the red subscribe. It's going to ask you basic domestic questions about yourself, but not a lot. And that way you'll be subscribed for any time in the future. You won't have to search for it and type it in all the time. You just hit that subscribe thing and go ahead and get right in, okay? So we are the New Orleans TV Internet Work System. If you're not familiar with this, all of our programs, except for a couple that we're experimenting with during the daytime, are live 1-hour programs bringing you talent, entertainment from around the globe. Tonight's show, starting in, by the way, 4 minutes live, will be Talk to the Tarot. Talk to the Tarot started our previous incarnation, and we're fortunate enough to have a resident psychic medium who is by the name of ROBYN DENNEN. We'll reintroduce you to her as we end the program. So we do have, for my information, we do have 2 callers coming in who's made a reservation. We always try to give them priority. If you reserve ahead in 15 or 20-minute segments, then you won't have a problem. If we run into extra time or we only have 1 caller, something like that, then we do what we call guerrilla taroting. That's what allows you to call in and give some basic information and have the same options of getting your tarot cards read by ROBYN and/or seeing if anyone on the other side wants to give you some information. So that's even to me the more exciting part. I don't want to know about individuals tarot, but I'm always putting my 2 cents in. So you've got to don't take that with offense, because I'm just trying to keep it lighthearted and trying to inject something for the entertainment value. So it pertains to everyone, not just to the caller. But we're real pleased, and this is probably maybe she'll tell us later on how many years now we've been working together on this. At least I think 2, maybe longer. So it's definitely got a popularity. Originally with the other station, it was always on the same day, I believe, but Wednesday mornings early at 8 o'clock. And it's a problem for her because Pacific time, and several of her callers who follow her will also in that domicile. But now it's at a great prime time thing, 8 o'clock our time, 9 o'clock Eastern, and 6 o'clock over there on the West Coast. We're hoping that you're not in terrible plight with the coronavirus. We're hoping, though, that you are maybe the self-isolation or the self-staying at home will give you the boredom, if there is such, might force you to start looking at, if not the old-time TV, then the new TV, which is what we're looking at today. And we do have up to 15 programs when we have guests that could hopefully entertain you during that time. We've got a couple more minutes before we start. Real quickly, I want to tell you about the one change that we have since last week. We added the old-time telephone calling system. So instead of having to go intricately through the computer and then deciding whether you want to be on or not, we have instituted a telephone number that you can use, the landline, old-time landline, any type of cell phone, or you can still go through the computer if you have Google Voice. You'd have to install it. I don't know how long it takes. I wouldn't try to do it tonight. But this is a chargeable call, meaning it's not a toll-free at this time. So it's local to our exchange. If you have unlimited call, then you don't have a problem to worry about. But we do appreciate, regardless whether you make the call or not, to watch the program and see how entertaining it is, and maybe you can send us an email at bob@rrevue.net. You can contact Robin at her website, which, if you notice, her email is being flashed across the screen during the whole show. So you can hopefully write that down if you want to speak to her directly or make a reservation directly. Or you can also go to Bob Bockelman in Facebook Messenger and let us know, because we like to get the reservations all set up for the proper time allotment, so we know what we're working with and whether we have other times for people to call and ask a question. Okay, want to say welcome. It's time to go to the show. Go. Welcome. That's a great uplifting tune we've got, huh? That's our technical support has chosen that for this particular, what we call intro. Not a big deal. And the extra at what we leave to as well. So we're hoping that you will enjoy that for us, because it went very well. As we give away a little bit of information, this is Talk to the Tarot. We're getting ready to introduce you to our guest co-host, and she really should be a guest, our co-host, who is the psychic medium, for us to start the show. So let's see if we can do this. I always never know whether I have to do this, or let's see if, there we go.
You got me.
There we go. Welcome, everyone. This is ROBYN DENNEN. How's we doing?
Great. I'm doing great, considering.
Yeah, ROBYN is visiting with our aunt. And what city is it again?
It's actually called Marietta, and it's north of San Diego, California.
Okay, yeah. And she's been there helping her out. She suffered an accident, and so she's doing her part to keep the taken care of. And we all need taken care of now with this coronavirus.
Yeah.
So now she's doing much, as we say. But she's going back home for a brief stay. Next week she'll be broadcasting to us from her home. Not that it makes any difference, because other than maybe the back wall may look a little different from the room over here. So anyway, anything you want to tell us before we wait for now? Again, folks, you will probably hear a phone ringing, because I'm afraid I might not hear the vibration. We're testing this part out. We know it works, but try to find a better way for you so it's not totally disruptive to the audience when we're actually receiving a call. Okay, so we'll see what happened with the call ringtone on in the beginning. Go ahead. I'm sorry. What else did you want to?
Well, this last weekend I did a party of 13 women, and I did a spirit party.
Wow.
Well, I forgot to tell you. So I did a spirit party of 13 women. They were all of them except for one I had never read for before. And it was a lot of fun. And, it always amazes me when I sit with a bunch of people. I don't sit, I stand the whole time. I'm with 13 people. It's about 3 hours, a little over 3 hours.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, but, because I'm doing about 5-10 minute readings for each person. And of course it's about spirit. Sometimes they're, and they're, what they want me to tell them. I'm just talking about a lot of, because they're spirits, we're talking about people who've crossed over, talking about how they crossed over. But when I was standing there, the first time I did it, of course, I was really nervous. I'm going, okay, am I going to be able to do this? Will I get anything about anyone? And so now I've done it for a while, and I went, and, I wasn't nervous. It's just like, oh, I can do this. This is no big deal. And I went in, and it was one person after another. And, each person is a little bit different. I don't know what I'm going to see about each person. But there was a couple where it was very significant. I was reading for this one woman, and I said her boyfriend, husband had passed, and I said, "Does he have a knife? Do you have a knife from him?"
Oh my
And she
goodness.
said, "Yes." And you know, there's no way for me to know that he had a knife, right? And actually people had asked my girlfriend, the one that hosted the party, and said, well, she gets on Facebook and looks at everybody, and she goes,
Oh my goodness.
she says, she doesn't have any of your names. How is she?
Name. Oh, she intuits who's going to be there.
You're right. How am
And then
how am I going to know, right?
That's a great story. Great. Well, listen, we need, and this is maybe wasting. I would love to see if we could maybe do one of those live one day.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. Anytime.
And then maybe even do a virtual one with, just like we're doing now, where the people can call in, which is the same thing basically as this show, but where we can bring more than one person on. In other words, we can put up to there's 10 people, from what I understand, that can be in the studio. That doesn't mean on air.
Okay.
Only 6 at a time.
Okay.
Now, if we do 6, of course, these big, nice, big half pictures of split screen won't be there. The screen still stays the same size and would have to be divided equally 6 folk. So they would be smaller pictures. But each one could see themselves as asking questions. And if they had a laptop, the other, however many there, could watch it, or they can watch it on their phone. So we can work it out. I don't want to waste people's time with that, but let's consider that for the future, because one, to show them how it works by doing one where you have something already set up, and then maybe trying to integrate it with our show as a different kind of feature and a kind of a group setting. I think it might be interesting.
I think it would too. I think that would be actually very interesting. Yes.
Well, good. Well, we'll look forward to that. Just got to let us learn how to do the technology part, which is so damn easy. Oh, darn. Excuse me. Anyway, well, that's great news. Yeah, because I know you had taught a couple of years, either 1 or 2 years ago, we first talked about this. You told me you were going to try this, to do a group, kind of groups, even if it was small, but a group setting as opposed to just one-on-one, which some wants that exclusivity, because they don't want other people hearing about their situation, or their they're talking to or hearing from the other folks. But I think it's, from some of the shows that have been on the air over the years from some of these other mediums, it's extremely popular, just the opposite. So for that situation, this would be great. I don't know if there are any, and perhaps you do, because you're, of course, part of that society. Are there any of those shows still on either regular television that you know about, where they're doing like group medium shows? I forgot the two. I know there was one or two gentlemen that I know.
Yeah, John, I want to say John Stewart. That's not right. John Edwards. And then there is a Long Island medium.
The lady, yes. Yeah.
I think she does. She does groups too.
Okay. Now she's still. Are they still on air doing stuff, or are they that over and done?
You know what? I don't think John Edwards is. They show him. I know he still does it live. But I don't know if they do videos of
if he broadcasted. Yes,
broadcasting.
And most of those are probably live to tape. They're not being done like ours is live to live, and you can see the tape after at your own convenience. But the original show is live going out, so that would be unique. Now I know there was a young boy too, but his was such a commercial scene where he would do celebrities, and it seems so fake, so fake. So we don't want to go to that part. I mean, maybe it wasn't, but it had that aura of unauthenticity as opposed to authentic. The other two folk, I think, come off well enough that you can actually make it a credible situation for most of the audience. There was strictly for the glitz and the glamour of getting in somebody's house or inner sanctum,
Well, I know Sylvia Brown was probably the first one that.
Oh, yes, she was wonderful.
Yeah, she hasn't done. She's been. Passed a long time.
But she was very, very good. One being the first one. Two being, a little elderly, not that young people can't be.
Wait a minute. So I think she was my age. I think she was my age when she started.
Sorry. Well, the wisdom and the experience also equals the compassion that I think some of the younger ones don't have. They're mainly conveying information, unless it's something really exciting or glamorous. Anyway, we don't want to keep patronizing. But again, folks, so you see, we have the advantage of you can.
That sounds
gonna
like
happen. I
fun.
think I hear the old caller. Yeah, let's see. Here we go.
That's
Right? Give me a chance. Good evening and welcome to Talk to the Tarot. Hello? Hi, Tamara. Thank you for calling. We heard you call and we're so anxious for you to. You're really our first official caller, not only tonight, but using the telephone since we went on the new system. Before we did it when we did the other network, that's the only recourse we had. But now we have several options, but we're so happy to be back using the most common way to talk, not only to the tarot, but to any of the guests that we have on the show. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and bring ROBYN on so that you all can commit and let's see if I can do that. Okay. All right, ROBYN, this is Tamara. Tamara, also tell us, I forgot to ask you, where are you calling from, please? Oh, Midlothian.
I can't hear her at all.
Oh. And no, ROBYN is having trouble hearing you. Oh, goodness.
See, I think they probably have.
You still can't?
I can't hear her.
You still can't? Can you hear me?
I can hear you, no problem, but I can't hear her at all.
Okay. Ah, my goodness. Let's see. What's the problem? Oh, my goodness gracious. Oh. I wonder how we could do this. What do we think is the problem? We don't need this on the first situation. Bear with us, Tamara. I'm sorry. I thought sure it was going to be copacetic. And I don't want to have to go back to the other situation, going through the computer. It takes too long and it'll waste too much time of the show. May I ask, are you a phone or a laptop? A phone. And may I ask what manufacturer? Not that I'm personally curious, but sometimes we have trouble when people are using the Apple phone, Apple product. Oh, well, that's good. And you're presumably on Chrome. That's correct? Chrome browser. Do you know if it? Yeah. Yeah. We usually don't have any problem at all with that. Now, here's what we could do. Let's see. If you're still. The only thing else I could do is go ahead and ask you to recall and send you my cell number and hold that up. This is a hybrid situation since we're not sure how to solve this. My administrative team is not telling me anything that they have. So what I'm going to do to you, let's see, how can I get this to you without giving it? All right, well, I'm going to give it to you. You got a pencil? I'll have to give it to you over there, okay? I'm sorry for this, but I just don't know how else to solve it. I'm not getting any clues. It's 504-666-0684.
You can just call the Google Voice number.
Wait, hold on. What?
You can just call the Google Voice number. It's going to come through on your phone.
Oh, that's the number. You did call. What number did you call, Tamara?
Yes, you did. But you're gonna use it.
Hold on, wait. They're yelling to me. I only have one ear. What?
You're gonna use your phone for the sound. You can still just call the Google Voice number.
So what does my phone have to be on?
It'll ring on your phone.
Well, that's what it did before.
But
Okay, he's asking you to just try it on this. Don't worry about my number. Call the same number you did. Can you try it one more time and let's see if we have a situation? Okay. Same number, please. Yes, please. If you hear me, yes. Okay, thank you.
And now just pick it up on your phone and play the sound on your phone.
When you say, oh, you mean put the microphone to my phone?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's not going to disconnect? I don't understand this. Why is it coming through my phone? That's only. Okay, folks, it should be. There we go. Whoop. Of course, I'm not ready for it. There we go. There we go.
Answer your phone.
I did it wrong. My administrator is screaming at me, and my problem is I'm blind in one eye and deaf in one ear, so I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing. Hold on one second again, Tamara. What are you telling me to do?
I'm telling you to answer the phone, your physical cell phone, not on the computer.
Okay, I got to bug you one more time. According to him, you will be on my regular phone, and I'll just put it on the microphone for now since it's not working the normal way. Can I impose on you one more time? I'm sorry that we're taking all this time for you, okay? Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Bye-bye. Okay, folks, I'm terribly sorry. Hope but again, it's not the way the system was set up. It was supposed to be that everything was through the, other than using the phone for the ring, that everything was supposed to be through that. Here we go. All right. Okay, Tamara? Tamara?
Accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
Tamara?
Yeah.
Good.
I can
Okay.
hear her now.
You can hear now? Good.
Yeah,
'Cause
I
I'm
can hear her.
using the phone. All right. Good. Excellent. Sorry about that. I'm going to kind of bow out of it. And why don't you and Robin go ahead and start wherever you want to start. Thank you.
Hi, Tamara.
Thank you.
Hi, Tamara. How are you today? Can she hear me?
Hello, Robin.
Okay, you can hear me. Okay, good. So to start off your reading, I see that there's a man that's covering you.
Robin?
Can she hear me? Bob?
I can't hear anything on my end.
All right. Wait 1 second. Okay. Try again.
Hi.
Okay, Robin.
Hi, Tamara. Can you hear me?
This is Tamara.
Can you hear her?
She can't hear me.
Tamara, can you hear her?
No, I cannot.
Go, Robin, talk again one more time.
Tamara, can you hear me now? She can't hear me.
Okay. Hold on 1 second. Len, do you have any other ideas? Leonard? Well, I'm getting no assistance, folks. So all I can do is, if you want, Tamara, if you want to try and use me as the hybrid, I hate to do that, to interfere in your situation, but if you'd like to let me repeat, go ahead. What are you saying?
I was going to say, can she? Go ahead.
Just that, you know, I've got, you know, well, a lot of medical issues going on right now, and trying to get assistance for that, and just wondering how that process is going to go.
Are you hearing that at all, Robin?
Yes, I'm hearing. Yeah, I can hear her. She can't hear me.
Okay. All right, then Robin. All right, good. I think Robin just heard your question. So Robin, can you elaborate? And I will slowly tell her if you don't mind me.
Okay, I tell her I see her. If she's okay. First of all, I'm not a doctor, but if she's asking what I see for her medically, ask her if she's planning to have a surgery.
Okay. First, she makes the waiver that she's not a doctor, obviously, but you know whether you are planning to have your surgery.
A surgery.
A surgery.
They mentioned having a knee surgery.
Okay.
They're trying to put that off for as long as they can.
Okay, Robin, you heard that, huh?
Yeah, I did. Well, whoever she picks for the surgeon is a good surgeon, so I would tell her to listen to them. But I suspect that she's going to be in pain until it gets fixed.
Well, she said she believes you have a good surgeon, but pain is nothing that she can do. That it will be a painful recovery. Let's put it, and it is in any joints. I know it for myself, so I don't think you're surprised by that. But that's the situation.
Let me correct that. What I said is until she has the surgery, the pain is not going to go away.
Oh, okay. Au contraire. She says when you're going to be having the pain until the surgery, which will give the relief. So I just sometimes beyond that, a joint surgery post-operative, sometimes it's not a 3 or 4 day and all of a sudden you're running around like a a mad person, you know. So anyway, there's usually rehab and stuff like that, which is no fun either. But the important thing is hopefully you're going to get the major relief from the surgery. What else? Any other question in either that regard or additionally?
Yeah, I do have a daughter.
Okay.
She said, okay.
Okay. Does she have a boyfriend?
She has a husband.
She has a what?
She's a husband.
A husband. Okay.
Yeah. He used to be a boyfriend. He's now.
Even better. Well, I see that whatever he's working on, that there is going to be success for it, and that if that's what she's wondering about, he should keep doing what he's been doing. He's going on the right path. And if she's worrying about his, I'm going to say his complacency, that it's going to change probably in the next year or two.
Okay. Did you hear any of that?
She's on the right track successfully.
Right. And that if she's complacent, or is it he or she that's complacent?
Well, either one of them. If they get complacent, that they should, that's what's going. I think it's going to take them a year or two. So if she's been complacent, that's going to take her a year or two before she gets out of that cycle. And I think that it's going to be something that pushes her that way. It's not going to be something that she does willingly.
Did you get that?
Yes, I did.
Well, congratulations to Bob, because I thought of another way. I'm now holding my phone, the earpod directly to the computer's microphone, and it seems like it's working. So all I'm doing is being the vessel to hold this thing, and my hand's getting tired. But I'll change hands. So let's continue. Go ahead. This is much better.
Okay. All right. So what I see is I do see success for your daughter. What I see is financially things are going to pick up for her. So if she's been struggling, whatever, she should continue on the path that she's going. I can see that does she have children too?
She has 2 children.
Yeah. So I know it seems to me that that's making it a little bit rough for her. I would say to you is that it's going to take a little bit longer, but she's going to be able to adjust to the new, well, I guess, of course, with the current status of schools these days, it's going to be a little bit rough, but it should start to relieve probably next September when they start a new. Are they both in school? Are they living with her, your daughter?
I didn't hear the last part, Bob.
Okay. Are they both?
Whether the children are in school and whether they're living with you.
Yes, they live with us. Well, we live with them.
Oh,
She
okay.
lives with them.
Okay, so are they in school? Are either one of them in school?
Are they in school?
My grandchild's in school.
Okay. All right. Got it. Okay. I've got to switch everything up now. I'm going to get back to where I was at. Okay. So what I see is someone's going to be making money. I feel like there's been some complacency with everything that's been going on with her, but she has the ability to make more money, and that's what she's working on. She's on the right track. It's just there's a little bit of complacency with her, and because of the complacency, that's what's holding her back. It's going to take.
But keep interrupting. Make sure that we get it connected. Did you hear that, Tamara?
What's that, Bob?
I said, did you hear what she said?
Not all of it, no.
Okay. She said she might have some complacency, and that's what's holding her back. What else, Robin? I'm trying to worry about the technical as well as
just tell her that it's going to take 1 to 2 years for that to I'm repeating myself, sorry, that it's going to take 1 or 2 years for her to work through that. So whatever's going on with her, she's working. If she's got depression or anything, she'd be working through that. So, and she will be, whatever's going on with her, she will be able to work through it, but it's going to take a year or two.
Okay, did you hear that?
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, great. Okay, good.
Okay. Okay.
What? Anything else next?
So, and if Tamara, are you looking for a new job, or is there going to be is there an offer of another job, or you've been thinking about doing another job, or adding another? I'm going to say adding another position.
Well, the thing is that I'm not working right now, and I've applied for disability because I originally broke my hip in 2018.
Okay.
Since then, there's been a lot of medical issues that they still can't quite pinpoint why certain things are happening.
Okay, well, I'm going to tell you right now, it's not just one thing. You do have more than one thing going on. So we're going to go back to the medical stuff. So you have more than one thing going on. So you said you have the knee, right? But you also and you have the hip, right? Is it on the right side? Do you have it on the right side?
It's all on the left side.
So I'm totally off. This is really difficult because I'm totally off on you. Sorry. So it's all on the left side. So they haven't found it. I mean, have they talked about like a bone spur or anything like that, or a protrusion coming out of from a bone or from a muscle? Is there like I see a protrusion. Let me put it that way. There's some kind of protrusion on that left side. What I see is that it could be a bone spur, or it could be actually even like a cyst or something that could be hitting like a nerve or something. So I don't know if you've been having nerve problem, but I see a protrusion of some kind. Okay.
Okay, because I'm going to a neurologist in April, hopefully.
Okay.
Depending on, I've waited this long to get in, but now with everything that's going on, they're limiting office visits, stuff like that. So
right.
hoping that, in April I can get in to see the neurologist, because we're at that last part of the body that, isn't something, in the head, because, I'm having problems with my left side and then my feet, stuff like that. So
what was the last thing you said? The feet? She say something about the feet? What was the last few words she said?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So it's not just your knee, it's also your feet and your hip. Is that correct? It's your whole left side from your waist down?
Yeah, I mean, they're treating me right now for neuropathy of them. So.
Okay. All right. Well, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I got it. So this is the reason I was thinking there was something to do with a job, but it's really about health, and you are going to have to make some decisions with and don't be afraid to make a decision. It's better to make a decision and go forward than sit in limbo. Sitting in limbo is just going to mean that you're going to be waiting for a longer period of time.
Okay.
Okay, good.
So if it's something financial, what I would tell you that I do believe that can be worked through, but I would take this serious. I would not let be your own advocate, because what I'm seeing is that there is something, and I don't mean serious. I mean, I see it as being serious in the sense that it's not going to change unless you do something about it. I mean, sitting and waiting is not going to be the answer. You have to do something about it. You have to be proactive. It's not going to go away until you talk to the right people. And if it is neuropathy, then that would mean that you need, you know what I'm saying, that you're going to have to do whatever the doctors say. I will tell you that you are going to very good doctors. Okay, that you're being well taken care of. So if you've been doubting them, they know what they're doing, and they do it all the time. So trust what they say and believe what they say. Don't think that they're quacks or anything. They are good doctors. Okay.
Excellent. That's. I mean, I know something's going on. I keep ever since, breaking my hip, it's like I felt something going on and being tested for different things since then. It's like I just can't get to the bottom of it yet. So I'm just,
And have you been to the neurologist? Is this the first time you're going to a neurologist?
This will be the first time seeing the neurologist.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well, what I'm getting is the first card that came on your reading is that it was a male, and then there was the Ace of Swords. So swords, usually Ace of Swords means surgery. To me, when I read the cards, if I see Ace of Swords, that's usually some kind of cutting or surgery. And I'm going to tell you that there will probably be some surgery around this. And with the neurologist, I would tell you that he knows. He's probably, I would say he may be even well respected for your community. He's not, he knows his stuff. It may take, I think you'll be surprised that he will know what's wrong almost automatically, because he's seen it so many times before. Were you just going to a GP before this neurology appointment? General practitioner?
I didn't understand the last.
She asked whether you were seeing a general practitioner before you saw the neurologist or the neurosurgeon.
Before you,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
May I ask, so they have diagnosed to have surgery or not? Recommended or no?
They suggest they're going to do a gel injection first, and the knee insurance will cover it. If it doesn't cover it, then they are looking at doing surgery. But it's severe arthritis, and there are bone spurs also.
Right.
So,
right.
Very, intense knee surgery is my understanding. But they're trying to, avoid that right now and just see if we can do the injection. Because I've had a cortisone shot. But, right now I can't work. So I'm like, trying to get disability and process and stuff like that. So
I doubt if this applies, but by any chance, does any fluid build up by the knee on either side, especially the exterior side, the lateral side? Does it look like a little?
Yeah, it's very swollen.
Well,
yeah.
I'm just telling you from my situation, I have diabetes, a whole bunch of stuff. But invariably, and I used to do a lot of falling, and even if I don't fall, sometimes it'll happen because of the severe arthritis, like you're saying, and it'll swell up it's on my left knee as well, and it's on the left side. One time, I called it and the doctor equated it to a hematoma the very first time, and because I'd fallen years ago, and it swelled up like unbelievable. I hate to say this, but they have to go in and they do an injection, but to drain it. And I mean, they took a lot out. It hurt like the knee, but it's strictly incisional. It's not cutting. It's a needle, a large needle that they keep changing the things until they drain all the liquid. It's painful for the insertion. It's sore that next day, but in the beginning they said, well, Bob, you're going to be needing this like probably every 6 months. If you get a year out of this. And I went 2 years before I had to have it again. And now I'm already almost on my next year. So I don't mind going for that pain in the office, but if that relieves it. But again, that might not be your situation. But I think if some of that fluid is accumulating, you might want to ask them if they just drain that, will that help at all? Or do they have to go in and do an incisional biopsy and somehow remove all those particles, suck them out, or however they're going to do them? Okay?
Exactly.
Good. Well, I wish you luck with that, because if you get the relief I did, it was welcome, and it stayed a long time. Now, the last one, he told me again, a different one, a thyroid surgeon. Now, Bob, don't expect to go a year or so now. They keep warning me about it, but fortunately, I have not had a more frequent recurrence. They think it's going to keep shortening and shortening the window when I would have to go back and have it drained again. But it has worked for me, and I've talked to other people. It's worked very well for them, even though theirs has been more frequent than I have. Sorry to interrupt. It just seemed a little bit like my personal situation. I was trying to shed a little more light. It probably confused the issue. Anyway, anything else? Because I know the other young lady should be calling, and we do have a second guest. Anything else, Tamara?
Nope, that is all.
Well, thank you for bearing with us. We do apologize for the technological problems. I'm glad we at least came up with this hybrid situation so you could have a decent conversation with Robyn. Robyn, want to say anything else besides a lovely goodbye to her?
Just goodbye. I'll
Goodbye.
talk to you another time.
Thank you very much for calling, Tamara.
Thank you very much.
All righty. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right.
Well, that's a new one we're going to have to figure out.
Here we go. You ready?
Yeah, it shouldn't be on your phone though. They should be getting on the computer, right?
Hello. Oh.
She should be. Isn't she coming in on Facebook?
Sorry, I don't know her number. It was a robocall. I
Oh,
apologize.
okay.
I had to get rid of it. So the problem is I can't multitasking is
Okay.
it's not my game, as you know. Okay, but let's wait and see. You had asked her to call in a couple of minutes before 6:35, 35, right?
Right.
35.
I did. I asked her to do Facebook. Did you send her a link? Did you send her?
No. I don't know. On the phone. I told her.
Why aren't we doing it by link? I thought we were doing it by link.
That's her.
It's
1
really
second.
this way.
Confusing me. They don't confuse me.
Call from Heather.
There we go.
To accept, press.
Good evening and welcome to Talk to the Tarot. Is this Heather?
This is Heather.
Oh, hi,
Great,
Heather.
great. All right, Heather. Wait,
Hi, Robyn.
oh, good. You can hear her.
Yeah, I
Do we
can
have
hear
her?
her this time. Much easier.
Okay. No, I'm still doing the same thing, putting the phone by the microphone. So it's coming through the phone via the computer. Anyways, you don't want to be bothered with that. We don't waste your time, Heather. I'm going to turn you over to Robyn. Y'all have a great conversation. You'll see my ugly face because I can't get me off. But go ahead.
Okay. And you can hear me, right?
I can hear you.
Okay, good. Good. I can hear you too this time. Just give me a minute. Let me see what's going on. And did your mother pass or did your father pass?
What's that?
Did your mother or father? Your father passed, right?
No, my father's still alive.
Okay, he's still alive. Well, I get a male who passed, and I mean, I would say he was he was probably a little bit older than you. I don't think he was the age of your father, but maybe a little bit older than you. I'm getting this. It could have been a friend, or he would be at a cousin type level. So if it isn't a cousin, it would be someone that maybe a little bit older than you. It could have been a friend though, or maybe your
Are you hearing all this? Heather, are you hearing all this or no?
I can hear her. Yeah.
Okay, good. 'Cause I thought it was breaking up, so I wanted to make sure. So you heard what she said right now. She's asking you
Yes.
something about a cousin. I didn't hear it. Go ahead. Go ahead. Rob.
Yes, it might be my brother-in-law.
brother-in-law. Okay, all right, that makes sense. Was he a little bit older than you? I was going to say might have been your husband's family.
He was probably 7 or 8 years older than
Yeah.
me.
Okay, that makes sense. Well, obviously he's coming in. I don't know what your relationship was with him, but he feels warm to you, or he's coming in because of and obviously your husband. So he wants to make sure your husband knows that that he's here, and he does periodically drop in on him. So I don't know if he is sensitive or not, and I wouldn't be surprised if he every once in a while, if he had a certain smell to him. I don't know if he smoked cigarettes or it'd be cigars or something. But I feel like there is was a certain smell, and that you might be sensitive to it. That you smell it and you go, where's that smell coming from? And it's not something offensive. It's more like, or if he wore cologne or he drank a certain drink, it would be something to that effect, where there is definitely a smell of some kind that would, if you smell it, then it is him. He is around. Okay. And he does visit your husband.
So, excuse me for interrupting, ladies. So, for the audience, you're basically working as a medium now. This brother-in-law, I think it was, has passed, and you're giving information that you'll know when he's there, as opposed to reading your tarot cards. Is that right? I just want to make sure we got that transition for everybody who's not familiar with the program. Okay, is that right, everyone?
Yeah,
Yes.
that's what I mean. He came in. I can't help it when they come in. They want to speak. I'm going to tell you what he says. So I don't know.
Dude, Diana, stop in the name of love. Stop. Sorry, bad joke. Go ahead. What else?
So I don't know if that's significant to you, but I'm going to let you know if you do smell something. I do see that you're okay, Heather, you need to do something creative in your life, and you need to be if you're looking to pop into doing something around your life regarding money, or outside of the real job you have. I'm going to say real job. Lucky you, that you should be looking for something a little bit more creative. So if you're thinking about hopping to something different, I'm going to tell you right now, it's not going to be an easy transition. And in some ways, if you're going to, you don't want to jump it from the fire into the frying pan. And so I'm warning you right now that if you make that, if you do make a choice to do that, do whatever you're about to do, that you need to be aware that it may not solve all the problem. But I will tell you that if you are thinking about doing something more on the creative side, that there will be money coming to you around that.
Here we go.
Yep.
Do you have any, to your knowledge, do you have a passion on anything, art, music, anything like that, Heather?
I do, but it does not currently fit into my role in my career. But I do have a job offer on the table that I've been contemplating, and a little concerned about how rough that transition is. So it's interesting that Robin brought that up.
But yeah, will that be the creative process, or no? This job?
No, they're two separate. They're two separate things. I'll tell you, because I'm going to just warn you. If there's money involved, it may be more creative for you, but it's going to be a rough time. And you're more than capable of doing the job. I'm going to tell you right now. You're more than capable of doing the job. The thing is some of the projects that they're going to have working on, they're not going to be easier than what you're already doing. Okay?
Okay.
And the money is, though, I'll tell you the good news, as far as the money, that what you do, you will probably be compensated for it. And I want to put down some more cards, but I think that you're going to also have an opportunity if you're looking at moving into higher positions. It's really going to depend on the work you do, and that I mean not only the effort you put into it, but also the kind of work they have you doing. And I think it does look like it's a little bit different. I think you probably have changed from when I knew you. There's the new job is there. I'm going to tell you. But it isn't going to be easy. It's going to be cleaning up stuff, our favorite thing to do. So you have to be aware. Someone didn't do, how can I say it? They didn't, in some ways they didn't do the minimum. Do you understand?
Got it.
Yeah. Does that surprise you at all?
No, not at all.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if maybe you didn't know the person, you knew of their reputation, or you knew of their boss's reputation. And so so that's kind of where you're at with this. I will tell you though, even with all that work, you're going to work hard and you will be recognized for it. There's a good chance that you could probably get some like a stipend or something like this with the job. So don't be afraid to ask for it. There will be projects that are going to be difficult. I definitely see some cleaning up. And there's one project that is going to be difficult, or it's going to be really needing a lot of cleanup. Someone did not do their job at all. I mean, I don't know what they were doing when they were walking in the door, to be honest with you. Are you still doing grant management, or are you doing something different now?
I'm doing something different now.
Okay. Is this going to be a male? And do you also have? Is there going to be a male? Are you working with faculty, or are you working with? Are you working more financials?
I work in financials, but I directly work with physicians as well.
Okay, all right. Well, one of them is not going to be any fun, I'll tell you that. So just be aware. You know, I know you've worked with difficult professors or physicians before. So he's not going to be, you're going to be dealing with that too. But what I can say about him, you're going to be able to deal with him. You will, I think because, you know, you've been in the business long enough that you know how to handle him. And hold your ground. Don't be afraid of him. Hold your ground. And he'll respect you.
Okay.
There's all I can tell you. You're going to be doing some cleanup. Someone didn't do their job. I just let you know. I also think that the other thing I see with this is a great job to transition up higher. The experience you will be getting with what everything else you've done is going to make you very well rounded. So if you want to move up, you know, up a grade or two, you will be able to do that. And so in that sense, I'm telling you what to expect if you get into it, but I'll tell you that there will also be a benefit from doing it. It's not going to, you know, the next places that you're going to rise up, they're not going to be easy positions. Not that any of them were easy, but there is definitely going to be a certain amount of expectations. And you can rise to it. But it's at some point, I think what you're going to decide is that you're not going to want to go any farther because you don't want the stress. And you'll know which positions are like that. But I see this, it can be beneficial. It's just going to be rough probably for the first year and a half.
Okay. That's actually really good to know, because that seems to be, I'm really questioning my next move in my career now that my kids are older.
Yeah, they're all grown up now, aren't they? I said they're all grown up now, aren't they?
Yes, I do still have my 12-year-old at home, but one of my questions I had as well is my 20-year-old daughter is out of the house now, and she's working, and I just, you know, one of the questions I had for you is, do you see her being okay and out on her own, and you know, of course, I worry about her.
Well, she's 20. She's going to act like a 20-year-old. She's going to be okay. I do see a man around her, a boy around her. I don't know if she's already got him, but I like him in the sense that he has a way with her. I don't want to say he controls her, but he knows how, in some ways he knows how to calm her down, or he can understand her essence. So if he's not in her life now, he will be in her life. I think, to be honest with you, Heather, I think that she's probably less wild than you were when you were growing up. I feel like the things that she does are pretty normal for her age, but she also has a very, I'm going to say responsible, or especially responsible to herself as far as having good self-esteem. Good job, Mom. But she has pretty decent self-esteem, and she knows where she has a good sense of what her deal breaker is. And she also has a good sense of when she doesn't like something. She's probably an empath. So when she feels like she doesn't like something, she's not afraid to give that up. Okay, do you understand what I'm saying with that comment?
Okay, that's good to know. Yeah, she's definitely an empath, and she's got her personality down to a T.
Yeah.
So very different than me. So of course I worry about her.
She will. I'm saying, say that again.
I said it doesn't mean it's a bad thing. She's different than me. I just worry about her.
Yeah, I know. I had one that was 20 at one point. So the other thing with her, because she is an empath, there is going to, she's not ready, or she could be ready, but she'd be on the outskirts of it. There is going to come a time when she's probably, it would be good for her to understand that she's an empath, okay? And if she hasn't gotten into that sphere yet, this is a good time, probably in the next couple of years, maybe 3 years, that she maybe takes a class or, you know, a metaphysical class about empaths. I'll get that out. And that she might need to take, she should take that more because things happen to her and she doesn't sometimes understand why she feels the way she does and other people don't feel the same. Do you understand? Because she's more of an empath.
That's really important. Okay, that's good to know.
Give her a goal. Tell her that if she does well, that she can come on. We can have her as one of our additional co-hosts on this show. How about that? give her a little rainbow there. And I have without interrupting too much, but I'm curious. And whenever we start in the creative ways, I always get curious. May I ask what that passion might be? What field, if you either do it as a hobby or actually proceed at some point, what would that be in?
It's always been photography.
Oh, that's a great.
Please. We have a show for you as well called Artist Review, and it's so hard to get photographers. They're the hard. We get painters all the time. No disrespect, and sculptors next, but photographers are always reluctant to come on and show their wares. I don't know why, because I think maybe because years ago it was an unappreciated art as opposed to, from a financial standpoint, it was always the stepchild, you know, whereas now some of the art, especially to me, the black and white is so dramatic. But anyway, so keep that aside. All you need is, I know it sounds like a lot, but all you need is 20 photographs and we'll do a show on you alone showing those pictures, okay? So, thank
you. I signed up for a photography class, so I'll let you know.
Excellent. As long as we're on the air, the offer stands. So both you and your daughter have something to shoot for on the broadcasting media, all right? Back to Robyn. Robyn, I'm sorry, but I'm always curious about the creativity part.
So Jennifer, I don't know what's holding you back. Heather. I don't know what's really holding you back about this job. I mean, I can tell that there are some problems, but there are a lot of benefits from it. I mean, you know, it's going to take a while, but it might be the right timing for you as far as how old you are compared to when you're going to retire. Do you understand what I'm saying? You could probably easily get another, you definitely could get another position up, you could probably end up in a higher position, at least one up, but I think you may even be able to do two. I do understand, though, initially why you're feeling the way you do, because you've obviously been told what it's really like, haven't you?
Yes, I've been struggling with the decision to move forward in my career, moving up, or taking a step back. And then, you know, depending on the day that I have at work, it depends on whether I'm thinking, okay, I want to move forward and move up in my career, or I want to take a step back and just work an 8 to 5 again. And that's been a struggle for me for a couple of years now.
Okay, I'm going to tell you, if that's what you want, what I would tell you is make sure that you can hire someone underneath you if you want this new job. What you need to do is make sure they have enough people. It comes down to them not having enough people. And that would keep you from having to work as hard. The other thing is you could train someone very easily to help you. So I don't know if they absolutely say, no, you can't hire someone, or if someone's going to leave. You know, man, Heather, they did not have someone very good in there. I hope it's not someone I knew. But yeah, you would definitely, if you want to go to the 9-5 or 8 to 5 job, then I would tell you that definitely you need to have at least one person underneath you to help. So if you have an assistant, if they already have designated assistant for that position, you could probably bring it to 8 to 5 job.
Okay.
All right.
So one of these things that they are guaranteeing to me is having a balance. And they actually, one of the things we went over is an org chart to make sure there's enough people to do the work.
Ah, good.
Okay, good. Yeah. I think that's absolutely, if they're willing to give you that, then I would go forward with it, other than to know that it's, you know, as I repeat myself, I just want to make sure that it is going to be rough, but it's going to end up, I'm going to tell you right now, it's going to be end up good. That, you know, you have the Judgment card and the Temperance card, and it's going to take a while, but it's not going to take that long for you to get to move up. Okay. I think you're going to be able to easily do it in less than 2 years.
Wow.
And you're going to end up with an assistant that is going to be good. And if it's not the person that is already there, you will find a very good assistant. And, you know, she's going to be a go-getter like we were when we were young, right? She's going to be one of those. And you're going to be able to trust when you give her something that it will be done correctly, that you can trust what she brings to you. That it has good analytics to it, all of those type of things, you'll be able to trust her. So that's going to be a part of. Have you interviewed with the person that would be right underneath you?
Do you hear Heather?
Okay, now I hear.
Sorry,
I don't hear Robin.
it was a moment.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Do you hear Robin now?
Okay, now I hear Robin.
Okay. Have you interviewed with the person that would be an assistant to you, or the person right underneath you?
I have not yet.
Okay, you should. Okay.
You interviewed with the person that I would be replacing.
Okay, interview with the person that would be the assistant, and if they're a real go-getter, then you're good. And if they're not, you need to get rid of them right away, which is always fun.
Make sure I get one of them.
Yeah,
would it be good for her to initiate a offsite, instead of an interview formal where she has to go to an offsite like coffee chat with the person you're talking about, to find out her feelings about, you know, not necessarily nasty feelings, but I mean, what do they need for this position to be effective? You know, but taking it out of the formal setting, if he or she would be interested in meeting like at a coffee shop nearby the work or something like that. What's your thought on that, Robin, or
well, I know where she works, and it's very restrictive, and so you have to be very careful because it's a government agency. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry to intrude there.
Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah.
Maybe one last question, not to bring it down, is the virus affecting your current job as well? How is it impacting you work-wise?
What was the question? I'm sorry.
I said the current virus. How is it impacting you? Are you shut? Do you have to? Is your whole business shut down? I doubt if it's medical, but go ahead.
Well, we're a health system, we're a hospital, and I work on the hospital side. So it's definitely having an impact on my department.
Okay.
Yeah, we're surgery, so a lot of our surgeries are postponed because of it.
Being postponed.
Yeah.
Right. Sure. Okay. Sorry to intrude on that, but it's always interesting for the people watching to hear how it's going with individuals, you know, regular walks of life somewhere else, so they don't all dwell in their sorrow. So I appreciate you sharing that with us as well. Okay, Robin, we're going to have to shut it down a little bit. Tell Miss Heather whatever parting comments you might want to have.
Bye, Heather. Enjoy your new job.
Thank you. Thank you for having me on. I really
Okay, great, Heather. Good luck with the success with the new job, and we apologize for any technical problem, but I think you got the majority of what you want answered, and that's the key. So good luck in your future. Thank you so much for calling. Okay.
Thank you.
All righty. Bye-bye, dear.
Bye.
Okay. All right, Robin, it's you and I. So it's just about quitting time, as they say.
Why didn't it come up on? Why didn't we do it through Facebook this time? It was so much harder.
I think I'm not sure I answered the question. Why don't we talk, because we're still live right now. Why don't we talk about that?
Okay. I thought we were done. I didn't realize you were.
No, I was just done with the call as I took the number off so no one else would try and call.
Okay.
We only have official minutes, but I mean, we don't have the 2 minutes. But anything else you want to say not about except the technical changes. Going to everything else was already telling.
You know what? Everybody, take care of themselves for the next 4 weeks, 5 weeks.
Very good. It's
Yeah.
one time when selfish is somewhat important, not to the exclusion of being considerate of others or helping someone else, but at the same time, we need to look after ourselves almost equal to any other opportunity right now until this resolves itself. Okay, Robin. Well, listen, we'll chat after the fact about any of these problems. Okay. Thank you again. See you next week. Safe travels back home. All righty.
Okay, bye.
All right, folks. We're sorry once again. We still have I don't know what the kinks are that we just can't get out a smooth transition, but I'm sure it's all my fault because Bob just doesn't understand technology. But anyway, we have been able to redeem ourselves and have a worthwhile conversation with both of our callers, even though it was a little bit of a hybrid situation. Want to tell you, let's see, this is probably the end of programming for the rest of this weekdays, except for the week mornings and afternoons. We're doing Rant Review, which is my not so talk show, and we've been focusing on how the virus has affected our restaurant community, and especially in the continuance of distribution of food to the New Orleans and neighboring populace. So it's very informative. We're making some calls, finding out what the status is. That way for people can continue getting their food, of course, with a little inconvenience of having to pick it up or what. So if you want to see that, that'll be tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Central Daylight Time, and again at 2 p.m. Central Daylight Time. But Friday, our show for Marcy's picking sale will probably not be again. The virus has caused a lot of havoc there, and so they're shutting it down early. So we're going to be looking for some other things involving the lady at her own shop when she returns back to her location. Okay, folks, so for the most part, unless something else really comes up quick, please stay safe and shelter in. And I know it's boring, but we'll try and find some more stuff for you. So if you're really bored or want to hear about New Orleans per se and the restaurants, call us or listen in and watch in tomorrow at 10 too. So for the New Orleans TV and the network, this is Bob Bockelman saying good night.